All right. Well, hey, team, it's Dee Corchin, and we are here together for our Coaches Up for Change, our Monday night team time, meeting together here every week for community, for training, for inspiration, and really helping us grow as individuals and also helping us grow our business. And got a great leadership team. We really try to pick topics that are relevant, that really help us grow a business in a way that is pleasant, that is fun, and helps you reach your goals, but also keep your sanity at the same time. So I hope that you have liked the topics that we have been choosing. Special thanks to Lisa Bloom, who filled in while I was out of town last week. That was really nice to have that. And I'm excited that Lori did most of the preparation and planning along with Lisa for tonight's call. So I just get to act as host, which is awesome. So our inspiration, what we've been doing is taking this time at the beginning of the calls to recognize new members into leadership. To reach executive director or a higher rank in Optavia simply means that you are helping a lot of people, either clients or a combination of clients and coaches, and really is a milestone. They say it's about 6% of coaches reach this level of executive director or higher. So like to recognize, just really hear from them, celebrate them, and also so we can all learn, right? Because success leaves tips. And if somebody is growing and helping more people, I think we can all benefit from that. So I have the pleasure tonight of introducing you guys. You've heard from Elaine before, but Elaine Yassison is a friend of mine. We've shared this before, but I think we calculated it was about 9 years that I had approached. She was on my initial short list, my contact list for to be a potential coach with Optavia, and the timing wasn't right until about 2 years ago. And she finally said, you know what? Yes, I think I want to do this. So follow-up is important, you guys, because you never know where something will go. So Elaine, excited to celebrate you. Congratulations. You reached executive director for the first time in January of this year. So tell us about that.
I did. I made it. This is what happens. You make it at some point, right? You just keep pushing forward. It's, if I'm a testament to anything, it's keep doing it, just keep going. 2 years it took me. First year I really just wanted to help some people. And so I really didn't do too much until year 2. And I decided, you know what, Dee, I'm going to invest in this. I'm loving this. I want to go ahead and put my money where my mouth is. And I went ahead and invested in the Cracking the Social Code, got my social media presence out there. And that has been a game changer for me. It's been a haul, but it has really helped. And so Dee mentioned, Elaine, can you just share some mindset and action tips? And those are my 2 words. I would say mindset and action. If you do not have the mindset, if you don't believe that you can do it, if you don't believe that you can be a health coach, if you don't believe that you can touch lives, it's not going to happen. And if you don't then do the things that you need to, I mean, we have everything in our hands and we know what we need to do. We know we need to do the follow-up, the hundreds list, 10 trainings, everything. If you don't do those though, you can attend them and get all excited. I am the best at talking myself out of something. I mean, I can go ahead and talk myself out of anything. But I've been listening to the Mel Robbins High Five Habit lately, and if that's what you got to do, hey, let's do this. Come on, let's change some lives today. Let's go out and just rock this thing. You will get there at some point. And so my other tips really are just believe it. We are in a group where we have failed all of our lives, right? We've all been, we can't do this. Our future is set. We're not going to be able to lose weight. But if you believe it, it will happen. And so that is such a huge piece that I want you to really remember. Anyone out there that's, still striving for it, just believe it. Don't compare yourself to others. We always tell our clients that, don't compare your weight loss. Don't compare. But then when we get into coaching, we're like, oh, they made ED, they made, whatever. Don't do that. You're set at your own pace. My other big piece is don't get hung up on certain people saying yes. that one really hit me hard because I had a lot of friends that I wanted to help, really badly. And I got hung up for months, surely they'll say yes today. Surely that's it, they were thumbs down, no processed foods, whatever. And you just have to let go of that. There are people out there that need us, that need our help. And so you just keep pushing forward. And I said it before, don't quit. We have a huge, huge mission. And if your heart's there, it will come through when you are living out loud on social media. You just keep putting yourself out there and people will come to you. People will be excited. And, we can bring more people into our community. So those are my really big tips that I have. I think I don't know if I blew past 4 minutes or not, but hopefully I didn't go too far. So thanks to everybody too. Thanks for this whole team. It's been great.
Thanks, Elaine. You've really jumped in, you've immersed and gotten involved in everything. And I don't want to miss the fact of pointing out that Elaine has another business and a full-time job. She's extremely busy, a really high pressure job. And what she has done a great job is figuring out how to fit this into the nooks and crannies while doing it. And sometimes it's been hairy, it's been right. It was hairy at times, but it was that drive and that commitment that really pushed her through the hard times. So congratulations, Elaine. Excited to see. And you qualified for Grow Global, which is awesome. So your first leadership event to attend. So that is great. If you are executive director or higher, or you want to qualify before the end of March, we would love to have you come to Grow Global with us in Dallas. In April, there's still space available. So we want you there with us. And my coach, Susan Pallas, had always said to me, attend any event you qualify for. I just shared this with somebody. You'll never regret attending, but you might regret not being there. So love you to be there if you can. And we all qualify for convention. And convention is in July in Atlanta. This is open to everyone, including clients. And it's early bird pricing, you guys, through February 28th. So you'll want to go ahead and get registered for that. So just one quick thing I want to go ahead and turn it over to Lori, but what I wanted to remind you guys and let you guys know is February is a short month for us. It is 28 days, whereas in January we had 31 days. So the month is going to end a week from tonight, but that means we still have 25% of the month to go, right? A month is typically 4 weeks. So plenty of time to be out talking to people, for you to help more people to reach your goals. But another thing to keep in mind, I just saw a notice on this, is that all orders that would typically process like the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, they are all going to process on the 28th. So volume is going to be high. Expect some potential shipping delays the 28th, the 1st. If you happen to be talking to your clients, if they want to order sooner than the end of the month, they don't have to, but they may want to move their order sooner. If you're talking to people, rather than kind of doing that 11th hour push on the 27th or 28th, make those calls this week and it'll just be smoother for everybody and a little less stressful for you. So speaking of less stress, that's what we want to talk about tonight, is the topic of leading an integrated life. And the benefits of coaching is time flexibility. But the challenge is, especially if you're looking to grow your business, is, most of us come to this with an employee mindset, right? We come to this of how we've always worked in the working world, not as an entrepreneur. So sometimes this mindset that we need to be working harder. If we want to earn more, we've got to work harder. And what we want to do is help you find that, that balance in your life and actually learn the shifts that working more intentionally on the income producing activities, you can actually do it probably in less hours, or turn off the noise in your brain. And that's what we want. And one thing I had heard at our most recent event in Orlando in the leadership section was a description: is there really such a thing as balance, work-life balance, right? Is it ever going to be equal? And the reality is it's probably not. There's going to be times in your life sometimes that the demands of your personal life will take up more, but it doesn't mean we have to shut off work. And it doesn't mean that you have to be working and shut off your family and your personal life and all the fun things, right? So what we're looking to do is find harmony in it. I love that word, harmony. So it's a place where it can ebb and flow, but you can feel comfortable during that process. So Lori Cole has been working on this for her own personal self, and it's always good to teach on something you're working on. So Lori, I'm going to let you take it from here.
Yeah, awesome. You guys, I can't believe it, but I just signed up to be a coach for my 6th year. It's crazy. I just to give you a little bit of my story, I started as a middle school teacher. I'm a fitness instructor, and when I started working with Dee, she was like, would you like to be a coach? Or help secure your own success story? And I was like, sure. I mean, I thought, sure, I can help a few people. And then I started helping a few people. And then Dee started helping me dream bigger, dream bigger. And I left my job 2 years ago to do this full time. And I loved it so much. One of the things, though, that I'm going to ask you some questions tonight, I feel like balance and integration, balancing the integrated coach life, how about that, even better, has been a challenge for me. So I want to ask you a few questions, and I want you to think about that. And if you want to jot something down when you're thinking about it, that's great. The first question: what do you like to do in your self-care or guilt-free playtime? What do you like to do, or what would you want to do there? The second question: what are your struggles with time management? I feel like such a teacher. I've just stepped right back in, haven't I? The third thing is, what do you want more of? And the last question I wanted to ask you tonight, what are the things you should do if you had the time? So as I start thinking about the answers to these questions, this was my story. I wanted more of this. I didn't know how to do that. I should do this. I should do that. And what I discovered was my inability to act led me to feeling burned out and guilt. And so I really have honed in on how I structure my time and I balance my time. And I want to share some of those tips with you. And I'm going to bring somebody in to share more about how she's done this as well. The first tip I have for you is I had a couple of chunks. Now this was my third job at that time, but I have a couple of chunks for my client calls. And for me, that started out as a Sunday night. And then I divided, we want 10 to 15 minutes per client. So I just kind of divided that up, and I created the space to do that because of my job. So I recommend, when you're looking at your time management, that you think about how you can chunk your client calls together. Or if you have a lot of clients, maybe you do 2 nights or 3 nights for a specific hour, but according to your schedule. One of the things that I actually did, I love data and I love understanding. I want to see numbers. So I actually timed my client calls, because if we're supposed to be sticking at 10 to 15 minutes, I wanted to provide value. I wanted to get to the heart of what we were doing, and I timed myself. And what I found was that I really could have a very effective client call in 15 minutes or less. I could ask hard questions. I could sit with them where they are. Of course, there are sometimes exceptions, so I wanted to leave my heart open for that. But the majority of my calls could fall into that time. The third thing that I did was I put on my coach hat. So a lot of my first clients were good friends of mine. So I said, hey, when we are talking for our client check-in call, I'm going to put on my coach hat. And that 15 minutes is about you and your health journey. And I want to talk to you about all the things going on. I want to talk to you about, your kids and your job and all that, but we'll do that another time. But I want this to be a dedicated time for you. Because if we are offering coaching to clients and we get on the phone and we talk for 30 or 45 minutes and we talk about everything that we want to talk about as friends, then it would feel very hard for someone to feel like that's what they wanted to do. Well, I don't have time to talk for 30 or 45 minutes. about, if I have to do client calls like that. So it's really important. And one of the things I encourage you is when I first started coaching, I would just be like all in, just trying to do all the things. But I encourage you that if you see this in you, like right now, you're like, oh gosh, I've started with this client and I haven't done it that way. Well, just change it. Just say, hey, I have been just looking at this and I want to be super respectful of your time, and just change the rules. And it's okay to do that right now. The other thing I heard at Awaken, our leadership conference last year, was that we don't have just a monthly action plan, but we have a daily action plan. And I think one of the keys here is to find the small actions that move the needle in your business. And those are your daily actions. Watch out for your energy. If something happens, you have a flat tire, you have an emergency at home and you don't get to it, make sure your energy is like, now what? I just have to quit, right? It's so tempting. So we back up, take a look back. When can we fit this in? What is the priority on this? This could be a next week thing, and not allow the energy to get negative about something we didn't achieve, but to just really focus on the daily action. And then also having a power session for specific things. And my power sessions at first were 10 minutes. I know they're like 30 minutes, an hour. That would have been awesome. But when I was starting out, 10 minutes was all I could do. So do what you can do. If your goal is to write 5 notes to your clients every single week, then you could do that in probably 15 minutes. So just set that power session. And the key is to try to not do it all, but to talk to your mentor about what's most important and what will move the needle on your business, and to do those things. And the last tip that I have for you before I turn it over to Diane is to think about what you want to do for fun and organize your day around that. Because if I have something really fun that I'm looking forward to, I'm going to get my work done. If I'm going on vacation, my work is done, right? So organize your day so that you can have your fun time, no matter what that is. If that's walking your dog, calling your friend, watching Netflix, whatever your fun thing is, schedule your day around that so that you have time for that. Hey, I'm going to turn it over to my sweetest friend, Diane, and she's going to talk to you about how she has applied some structure to her business and what she has seen as a result of it. So I'm going to mute myself. Diane, there you go, girl. Take it away.
Thank you, Lori, for asking me to share about my struggles with structure and some tips that have helped me in this area. And I'm really honored and excited to share with all of you today. All of you have been so helpful to me, and I hope I can give you some helpful tips here. Now, while I've been completing my daily calendar for a while, I found that setting aside time to plan out my calendar for the full next week on Sunday afternoon really helped me to be less stressed and more focused during the week. I mean, I block everything on my calendar, including my posting times, my social media outreach, the A to Z commenting that we're doing now with Power Hour, calling people, adding 10 friends, client follow-up, coach explores, celebration calls, etc. All of those. But I also block out the other rocks in my schedule: my exercise, my church, visiting mom, doctor's appointments, dinner with Randy, etc. Now, I'd look at my blocks of 15 to 30-minute power sessions, and so many times I would just ignore them. I knew I was in control of my schedule, but many times I was just choosing to ignore those power sessions when I saw them, if it was the things that I just really didn't want to do or wasn't really happy with. But what I found was, when I tell myself, look, just take the action listed in the power session, and if you complete it, Diane, then you can take that walk with Randy outside, or then you can read that chapter in my book club book, or go shopping, or have that tea with a healthy fueling, or do those guilt-free playtime activities that I plan, the fun things. So really, just like Lori said, anticipating the fun and the pleasurable activities and making sure I built in breaks and rewards after my power sessions helped me to better tackle those things that I just really didn't want to do, but to tackle them with a little bit of zest because I was excited. If I can do this, I can go have fun. And being committed to leisure time and making sure you have some leisure time in your schedule will allow you to find, allow me to find some joy in my day. And we want to find some joy in our journey. And then even during that time, when you get that guilt-free playtime, you can be open to all kind of new and creative ideas and just different ways of thinking too. I'm not perfect by any means, and I continue working on this. But as I do, I feel like I'm making baby steps toward improvement. And I hope that was helpful.
Thank you, Diane. I appreciate that so much. Such a great share. So now it's our turn. We're going to put our heads together, and we are, with the help of our technical wizard, Lisa, and we are going to go to breakout rooms, and we are going to talk about the things that are stirring in our hearts. What are your commitments toward what you're going to do to create better balance and more of an integrated lifestyle? What are your ideas? What are the things that you could share? And we're going to come together and just talk about those. Lisa, give me heads up. Are we ready? We're ready. All right. Hang on.
We're ready. Yeah, I put it in the chat and that will show up if you guys look in your chat when you get to the breakout rooms, and off you go. Lori, I think you're going to go into a room, but we'll either Dee and I will join you or we'll pull you back.
Okay. I just clicked not. I clicked not now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure what's going to happen to you. Okay. Why do we have 2 people unassigned? Let's see. I think we have a few people that chose not to. I'm going to.
Okay.
Room 2 has space.
Yep.
maybe.
Yep. And room 4.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
It's supposed to be room 1. Can you, looks like you can move her. Room 1.
Yeah, it looks like she's supposed to be in room 1. I'm gonna move her to 2. See how that works. So I wonder if, let's see.
Barbara, do you have a message to join a room?
I think
This is
Okay.
Thea, and I was going to room 1, but then I got brought back.
Okay, so just go ahead and go where I'll put you back.
I got it.
Yeah.
I see another invite. Thank you.
Kathy Motherway, do you have an invite pending there to move to a room? Barbara, Monica?
Okay, so I think what I might do with those folks. Oh, okay.
Okay. Can you move Barbara? Monica? Monica might not be, she might be in a car or something.
What I might do is move them to the waiting room if they don't join a breakout room.
Oh, okay.
Barbara, did you get a message to join a breakout room? You're on mute.
You did get it. Can you accept it? So you'll move?
Here, Barbara, how about if I send you a new one? Okay, there went
Okay.
Barbara.
Monica, are you there? Monica Davidson?
Oh, hey, Dee.
Hey there. Do you have an invite to go to one of the breakout rooms?
I did, but I didn't know if I should join since I'm not really on your team.
Oh, you absolutely can.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course, Monica.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
can you
didn't
still see
know.
us? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and join.
Okay, I
You're
don't
so-
see anything yet. Sorry.
No, no worries. I appreciate your being respectful around that.
So it might have expired. So I'm going to bump you to a room that's named, and then I'm going to bump you back to the room you're supposed to be in.
Okay. Sorry, I hope I didn't mess you guys up.
Not one
No,
bit.
that's good.
So if you're watching the recording of this, go ahead and answer those questions. Lori, do you want to do it like go over what the three questions were?
Yeah, absolutely. What are the 3 action steps to take more of the integrated coach life? And what do you want more of? And what do you want to stop doing?
So if you're watching the recording, just work on that yourself. We're going to take probably about a couple more minutes with it. Lori, what's something that you've been working on, like maybe a guilt-free playtime activity?
Yeah, one of the things I've started doing is creating what I want to do, like my block of play, whatever that looks like, and then creating my schedule around that. And that's worked really well. I want to stop scrolling social media. So I've really honed in on some of the specific things that the social media courses have taught, and feel like that's been really helpful, because before you know it, you've scrolled and you're watching a video of a puppy that you don't know the person. So it's rabbit holes. One of the things that I'm noticing is I'm noticing where I feel resistance, and I'm leaning into that. So and I'm noticing, just asking myself the questions with grace, like, why do you feel resistance about that? Is there something you need to change? And circling up with that. I always think that leaning into your mentorship is a great idea for help in prioritizing what really will move the needle. Less comparison and just more staying in my lane and doing things my way.
I think that's good. I mean, I think one of the things that I find is that a lot of coaches, it's hard to decipher what to attend and what not to attend. I mean, I always say, like, the great thing about Optavia is all the training we have available, but the worst thing is all the training we have available. And sometimes we can get caught in there, like, as if there's no middle ground. And I'll find somebody who's on everything, they're excited, and then all of a sudden it's a point of burnout. And it's like, I can't do this. I can't be a coach. There's something every single night. There's and it's not intended to be that way. That your mentor, depending on what your goals in the business are, can really help you determine and prioritize that. And one thing I've been doing, and might be a little different than others, but certain things that kind of stress me out are like planning events and things, or if I'm doing a big presentation or whatever, I'll tend to procrastinate. And it just swirls in my head, and I keep thinking, oh my God, and I've got to plan this thing. And it's just this big thing in my head. And the one thing my coaches help with is actually putting time on my calendar, like 4 weeks in advance, planning session 1, planning session 2, whatever. And then at least when I know it's on the calendar, it takes it out of my mind. And then I can whew, and then wherever I am, I can be where my feet are planted and not let my head be spinning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Looks like they're coming back from the breakout rooms. This will be fun.
Yeah. just about out of time. All right. Looks like we're coming back with about as many as we went out with. So that's a good sign. So you guys like the breakout rooms, that ability to get into the small group discussion. Yeah. Yeah. We're trying to do more of this for you. So really glad that we were able to take advantage of that. We kind of ran short on time, you guys. I'd love to have people share, but we're a little short on time. So what the challenge is hopefully you had time to think about the three things, right? That those three questions, what do you want to start doing, stop doing, or how can you lend more into the integrated life? And right now, text your coach what your things are. All right, that's going to be an accountability step that we're going to take this serious because we're serious about really helping you find that integrated, fun coach life that really is amazing. So thank you to Elaine for sharing her story tonight. Thank you to Lori Cole for facilitating. Thank you, Diane Nix. Thank you for Lisa for running all the tech behind the scenes there. Thank you guys for being such active participants. Encourage you to hop on the 8 o'clock, the 8:30, and we've got Dan Bell at 9. There's so much available. Anything that works with your schedule and your goals, and encourage you to attend. So Lisa's going to give you a few more, looks like some tips there in the chat, some things to help. And we will see you during the week. Thanks, you guys. Bye.